Hi guys, I'm back with my second favorite book series. And you may recognize this series from a really bad movie interpretation of the first book. I mean, it was just a really bad movie interpretation of the first book. It was really terrible, horrible. And that book series is The Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. As you can see, I have quite an eclectic collection of these books. This first one actually has a cover that's based off the terrible movie. I wouldn't have bought one with a cover like that, but what happened was that this is owned by someone in my house, and no one could remember who it was, and so I just took in this little poor orphan book thing because no one cared, I guess. So it's mine now. But yeah, so it's got the movie cover, doesn't match the other ones, and then this one is actually, these two are just hardcover ones. This one's weird because not only is it paperback, which is, well, not that weird, but it's published by Laurel Leaf or something instead of Knopf. You see, Laurel Leaf, Knopf. I know that at some point he switched publishers in the publishing of these books, so I'm thinking maybe this book is just older than all the others. I'm not sure exactly how that worked out. But there's an interesting thing about this series, and that is that when I first read the series, I did not know that a lot of the details in the series, because the series is about dragons and stuff, that the dragons, the idea of the dragons and how they worked was almost entirely taken from the Dragon Riders of Pern series, which is an old series which isn't quite as good. I read the first book and it's not that great of a series, it's not that exciting. But the concept of the dragons was pretty different, and he kind of just recycled that stole that concept for this book. Christopher Paolini did. He also apparently, if Rick Riordan's novels can be trusted, apparently the magic system, which I originally thought was pretty unique to this book series, is pretty much the same as magic from Egyptian mythology. That's if Rick Riordan's novels can be trusted, and that's pretty trustworthy. I mean, the Kane Chronicles is a decent book series. I ordered a box set of it. It's not in my top 3. You know, it's not going to be like #1, but it is a goodish book series you might want to look into. It's about Egyptian mythology, in case you didn't pick that up from context clues. Regardless of the unoriginality in certain areas, he still manages to make a really amazing story. And it's a great series. It has a lot of good action in it. It has some really fun characters in it. In case you don't know, which probably you don't unless you saw the really bad movie, the premise, which I probably should have mentioned a lot earlier, is that there's this guy, and his name is Aragon. That's the name of the first book and the movie, and he finds this dragon egg, and it hatches into a dragon, like dragon eggs have a tendency to do. Although he doesn't know it's a dragon egg when he finds it until it hatches into a dragon. And he lives in this country which is ruled by this king, which is obviously a bad king. And there used to be this order of dragon riders that sort of helped keep peace in this country and stuff. And then this king Galbatorix, who was also a dragon rider. Not sure if that was a spoiler or not. I'm pretty sure that's obvious from the beginning. But King Galbatorix, who is also a dragon rider, he goes out and destroys all the others. And he has motivations and stuff, so basically Galbatorix takes over. And so the story is that Eragon has to defeat him. And there are elves, and there are dwarves, and there are burgles, which are like ogres. The series also comes to a pretty interesting ending. It's not the ending you would expect. Leading up to the ending, you're expecting a kind of generic ending, and it ends in a different way, and that's kind of cool. So I'm not going to spoil what happens in the ending of the series, but there is an ending to the series. I hope that didn't spoil anything for you, but there is. The series does actually come to a close. It doesn't go on forever. I checked, there are actually a finite number of pages in this last book here. Like many series, this series does have a doldrums spot, and that would be this book. Now, this book's not so bad when you're rereading it, but when you first read it, this book can be pretty boring. Also, the first third of this book can also be boring at times. So, you know, if you get through those, it's a worthwhile series, but can be a little tad bit boring at times, just in the middle there. And it's not that boring when you reread it, which I have done several times. These are definitely a good book series to look into. And now I guess all there is left is the #1 book series. What is my ultimate favorite book series? And I'll give you a hint. It has a name. It's also a finished book series. I'm not going to leave any open book series in this countdown. Okay, so one last thing to say. More news on Gravio. Maybe I didn't clarify. My new Gravio late ending goal, my new Gravio goal, which I did not clarify this, it's not due today. It's due Saturday. So, yeah, there. I haven't really didn't really work on it yesterday either, though, because I went to my friend's house yesterday. My friend, the Jolly Llama, that's another pseudonym. Fun fact about me, I can't spell the word conscious, but I can spell the word pseudo, because it's like P-S-E-O, no, P-S-E-U-D-O. And if that was incorrect, it's going to be really embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure it's P-S-E-U-D-O.